Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD.
All right, all you positive heads, welcome. Welcome, one and all. I'm very grateful that you have joined me today on this beautiful sacred day, as is every other day, a beautiful sacred day. And that is what I wanted to put out there today as a reminder, because I feel like we all need to be reminded of this daily. Today is a sacred day. Everything that surrounds me is sacred. Everything that surrounds me is alive in consciousness. Everything that surrounds me, that's all it is consciousness. Whether it's sentient or not, it is alive in consciousness. And it is a part of us, as above, so below, and everything in between. There is not a single aspect of anything that exists that is not sacred, because all of creation is created from sacredness, from love, from the Creator's love, from the focus of love, sacred love. And that is all that exists here. The reason why I was reminded myself to remind all of you about this today is because this topic kind of has been coming up within a lot of my QHHT sessions lately. And the topic is a remembrance of our connection to nature and all that is sacred. And also a remembrance of when we lived those simple times, back in those tribal lives of simpler times, we were so happy. We had nothing that we had today. And we worked together as a community. We all had different jobs, and every single job was important. Every single job was special, but there was no job that was more special than another. Everyone in the group was just as important and just as special as everyone else. There was no one greater, no one lesser. And everyone worked together. Everyone profited and benefited from the work of the whole. There was never anybody left out. Another thing that we used to do back in the days when we were more connected to nature, really living in nature more, living in caves, living in huts, living in more primitive times, we used to do so much more ceremony. In remembrance, in gratitude for our Mother Earth, in appreciation for the sacredness of her and all that she provides for us. The air we breathe, the water that we drink, the food that we eat. We literally do not survive without the bounty that our Mother provides for us. And we used to make it a daily ceremony to remember that and to appreciate that and to give back that gratitude. It was a part of our daily routine, and I think that that needs to be brought back as part of our daily routine. As I'm saying this, that's why I'm saying it, because it does. It needs to be brought back as part of our daily routine. And maybe we can't right now get all together like we did in a community and meet in the communal space around the fire and sing songs like we did every night back in those days. But we can still remember that this is who we are, and we can give gratitude in our own way, and we still can come together when we can, and when we can all, we don't all live together in these times. So when we have the events that we can all come together and sing together. Singing was a really big part of the gratitude and how they gave back in appreciation. And a lot of times it was also like a ceremonial blessing for the men who went out hunting. The women would sing a song and the men would walk around the women in a circle before they went out hunting. And that was for many reasons. To bless the hunt, that it would be plentiful, that they would have food, and then to also bless the animal in gratitude for what that animal was providing for that entire tribe, to feed and sustain all of those families. And so there was never a time that they went and hunted and did not give back that gratitude and didn't show appreciation and reverence and respect to that animal. These are the concepts that we really need to bring back into our modern world as much as we can, because we've forgotten. By and large, we have forgotten more and more. And it's easier to forget, too, when you live in the city and you're doing the everyday go to work, daily hustle. It's easy to forget about it all. It's easy to just go to work with blinders and not notice all of the beauty that surrounds you, all of the rustling of the trees, all of the birds singing, all of the beautiful clouds in the sky that most likely have messages for you, just like everything else does. There is messages all around you, and the earth and all her creatures love to provide them for us. Hummingbirds, birds of all kinds, are one of my favorite messengers. The wind will speak to you. The trees will speak to you. And if you believe it, you might even see a fairy or two, maybe even a Sasquatch. Because, I've had people who go back into life experiences as fairies, as Sasquatch, and the perspective from those beings of nature is really, really amazing. So if you think about a little fairy and how she plays with nature and how much fun she has and how much bigger everything is to that little fairy, and the other creatures in the forest, like this one little fairy I'm remembering, because I've had a few, she was yellow. Or her outfit was something about her wings, that's what it was. Her wings were yellow. And there was a certain creature that didn't want to eat that fairy because the wings didn't taste good. So she was safe with her yellow wings. It was really cute. But that's how nature does it. And that's how nature knows, oh, that color doesn't taste good, so I'm not going to go for it. And these are the signs that we see, too, in nature that we have forgotten to pay attention to.
Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. The concept for the book initially came to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, confirming for me that the information in the book is pertinent to get to the world at this moment in our collective evolution. In the book, I share the 8 keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 25 years of trial, error, and deep exploration, including one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. I think most of you will agree with me that talk is a bit cheap, especially these days, and results speak the loudest of all. Well, these keys have led me to manifesting incredible results, such as an Inc. fastest growing private company, uncanny health, incredible relationships, and success with this podcast. However, I'm not any more special than you, and anyone can apply this information to achieve incredible results in their own life. I also believe waking up our planet by sharing these keys to abundance is the quickest way to help us to transition our home into the planet of paradise it is destined to become. Which is why I'd like to gift the book to you at goldenkey.gift when you use the golden key code POSITIVEHEAD. I would also like to invite you to create your own unique golden key code so you in turn can gift the book to others, as well as invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and on the website. Where readers are also going to share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. Lastly, I'm going to practice what I preach by sharing 50% of the abundance generated from the golden game and sale of the other golden goodies on the website with you and all the other readers. So if you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Also, if you end up loving and appreciating your gifted copy of the book, please take a moment to go to Amazon and give it a review, which will greatly help me reach and unlock more hearts with the Golden Key.
All of nature's creatures teach us about them. I love that in the plants, in the botanicals, they actually show us what they do. Like, you can look at an herb or a plant or a flower, and you can almost deduce what it will help with the human body. Like, for example, let's take the flower foxglove that many of you know of very well. It might be in your backyard, but you've definitely seen this flower before. It's beautiful. Well, this is where the medicine digitalis came from, was this plant, foxglove. And when you look at the flower, if you look inside the each little flower, it looks just like the inside of a heart. Digitalis is a heart medication. And so nature will tell you exactly what it does. And it's really, really interesting. You just have to stop, ask, and listen. And pay attention. Those are just really simple, great rules for everyday life. But the more we do that, just stop and pay attention and listen, all of the answers are around us. Not only are they around us, but they're within us too. All of this creation is us, working for us. We're all helping each other, all learning together. There is not a single one of us here who is separate from this whole. Albert Einstein said, "A human being is part of the whole called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feeling, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty." Einstein was a very wise man. We all know this very well. But maybe you haven't heard him talk about nature much. I know I haven't, and I was kind of surprised when I came upon this quote. It was one of those things. I was thinking about this topic today, and I was like, let me see if I have a quote about nature. And I found this beautiful one from Einstein, which is exactly what I was thinking about talking about today. And so I love when I listen to those cues from my inner guidance, and that is helping the whole. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I hear people like Einstein or Tesla or Plato or Buddha say these things that we know, that we think of, that we know are true, and then I hear Einstein say something like this, it just confirms that more within me. Like, yeah, I'm not crazy being such a tree hugger. It's wonderful that I show such gratitude and love for the nature around me, because that is what is freeing me from this prison, like he said. Because Oh my goodness, this is what happens too in the sessions. People are shown these lives, these primitive lives of community and compassion with one another and kindness and true love and so much. These communities were so beautiful. They were such simple lives, and everyone just enjoyed life and was happy. And that's a stark contrast from what most of us are experiencing today. And so this is why the higher selves have been showing people this, because life can be this. It does not have to be as difficult and constricting as we make it, because this prison that Einstein is talking about, it's self-inflicted. We don't feel like it is. We feel like the world is doing this to us and putting us in this box, but we are the ones who allow it. We don't have to allow it. We don't have to be in the prison. We can just take off those chains that are restricting us, whatever those chains are for us. The worldly opinions, the opinions of our parents, our friends, our siblings, our job, whatever it may be. Whosever opinions, whosever ideas that are not your own. We can free ourselves from them because we're creating our own little prison. And we do this as a delusion in our consciousness. It's totally a delusion. It's not true. None of it is true. So many people that come to me feel very stuck, very, very stuck in life. They don't know which way to go. They have all these ideas of what they want to do and what they feel really guided towards, but they feel like, oh no, this person's not going to like it. My job's not going to like it. And how am I going to do this with that and the other thing? And all of that becomes this cage and this prison. And all of that is just an illusion, a delusion in our mind that we create for ourselves. Because usually what happens is when we do live our passions and we do speak our truth, the people who love us support us because they see that we're happy. And the more that we're happy, the happier that they are. And so why do we keep ourselves in these prisons? Our higher selves don't want to see us in prisons, which is why they keep showing people these lives of, listen, look how simple it can be. It's very simple. And also the thing that happens in these lives and why they show them is oftentimes they end extremely tragically, unfortunately. They were living this beautiful, harmonious life, and oftentimes in tribal situations, say here in North America especially, another tribe would come and wipe them out in a very horrific manner. And they'd be on the other side and just, what just happened? And then go to the healing place and have to rest for a little while because that was extremely traumatic. And so there's two reasons why the higher self show these lives. One, look how beautiful and simple life is when you're connected to your community and with nature and showing gratitude to all that is and seeing the sacredness in everything. And the other thing is, look what you've been through. Look what you've already survived, and look what happened after that. You went, you were okay, you healed, and now you're back. And since you've already experienced that, it's not going to have to be that bad again. Oftentimes. Maybe it will. Either way, you're okay. You're always okay. There is nothing to fear. The thing to fear is holding ourselves in this place of bondage, of not moving forward, of keeping ourselves so stagnant. So many of us are desiring freedom right now. And this is a really big part of it, to just break free from all of those chains and get out of the box. Nobody wants to be put in a box. I certainly don't want to be put in a box. That is one of the reasons why I didn't like practicing medicine. I don't like putting people in a box. I don't like having to come up with a diagnosis and saying, all right, this is the little box that you fit in. It's just not my bag. Everyone's an individual. We all have our special part, right? Our own special sacred part. And like Einstein said, we can free ourselves from this prison by simply widening our circle of compassion and embracing all living creatures and nature, the whole of nature in its beauty, the infinitum of all that there is and the sacredness of all that there is and our connectedness to it. That is what will free us from these bounds and these chains that we really don't want to be in. We are free. We are light. We are love. I love you all so, so much. I'm going to leave you with a song for today, which I think is just a very perfect song for today's show. This is Mamu's garden song. Until next time, I love you all.
On this bright and healthy morning, I want to sing my song, let it be sung. And as I let it fly out into the world, let it be known I hear the music in all things today. The dance is on. I lay down on the ground in the garden. Let the earth crawl up into my clothes. Stared up at the sky and we fell together. We really are so close. He whispers hello, 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 and the dance is on. All the world is conspiring for me. The dance, everything, everywhere nourishes my growth. The dance is on. Let it be known that I can hear the music in all things. Today it's on. Today it's on. This one's for me. This one's for me. The bees are buzzing for me. The dance, even the distant train is calling my name. The breeze is orchestrating complicated ballet between the leaves. The dance is on. The dance is on. This one's for me. All the world is conspiring for me. The dance, everything, everywhere nourishes my growth. The dance is on. Let it be known that I can hear the music in all things. Today it's on. one's for me. The spiders are making rainbows between the colored greens in the sun. There's a hummingbird calling up in his tree. I can hear his wings from way